Hi guys, hope everybody's doing well. My name's Chelsea, if you've not joined me before, and this is Ready Jet Go's Let's Travel series where we're going to be speaking with different resorts, different destinations, just chatting about what COVID has done to travel, what you can expect when you're traveling now, the different things that the properties are doing to make sure that you're staying safe. I welcome everybody's comments. If you're here, let me know. Drop a hey, hi, whatever. We're going to be chatting today with Will Kauke from Palladium Hotels. He's going to be telling us a little bit about the resorts. Then we'll do some questions back and forth and then answer any questions that you all might have. So I am going to bring Will on now. Hi, Will. How are you?
Good. How are you doing? Happy to be here today, and looking forward to the next 4 or 5 hours of this presentation. So it'll be a great time.
Right? I hope everybody just came in for the long haul. Will, you have a presentation to give us for Palladium Hotels, correct?
Yes, I sure do. Let me go ahead and start sharing my screen, and if I can figure out how to do that. So, sure. Yes. So my name again, Will Kauke. I'm the business development manager here for Palladium Hotel Group, located in the Midwest here in Chicago. And I give you a quick rundown of the hotels we offer, what you can expect when you join us at one of our hotels, and also, kind of importantly, what we're doing here in this whole COVID timeframe. So begin, introduce myself again. So I usually, backdrop of my job, what I do, I work with the trade, which would be travel agents and wholesalers, get them together to sell Palladium Hotel Group products to their clients. And that's why I'm here to do it. Let's watch a little video about Palladium. So hold on 1 minute, I'll show you this.
Be it for holidays or a work trip, at Palladium Hotel Group, we've always done everything we could, even the impossible, to make sure that your stay is an unforgettable experience. And for that reason, from this day onward, we will be carrying out the recommendations of the World Health Organization.
Yeah, I kind of forgot this was all the health and safety stuff. Maybe a little bit more boring. It does go on for a little bit, but just give you a little taste of what we're doing, and I'll fast forward it here in a second.
Carried out in order to ensure that our 48 hotels in the Americas and Europe are safe and secure environments, so that during your stay, the only thing you'll have to worry about is enjoying yourself.
So I'll just stop it right there. So yeah, we're doing these steps, and we're making sure that you guys are, the guests are going to be able to enjoy themselves and also stay safe. One of the things that we instituted here that nobody really else has, as far as you want to go to an all-inclusive resort, who doesn't right now, right? But you're concerned about, getting sick with the COVID on property. Well, with Palladium Hotel Group, it's free, totally no thing the agent or anybody needs to do to register. You get free insurance if you are with us and you come down with a COVID-19 diagnosis. You're covered up to 100,000 euros, and there's nothing that you need to do, or your Chelsea, your travel agent needs to do to get into this. It's just totally complimentary, and every booking is covered. Now, it only covers while you're with us, so you come home and 3 days later you get diagnosed. Well, the policy doesn't cover that, but while you're on property with us, if you get the diagnosis, then we will definitely cover you for it. So that's one thing that we're doing for the health and safety. Talk a little bit more about what we are. You heard that Palladium Hotel Group. So we're a European-based company. We're out of Ibiza, Spain. If you see that little zoom in there, you've got 13 hotels in Ibiza. Down on the bottom, it shows our different brands. The brands that you are going to be staying at are either our Grand Palladium brand, which is for couples, singles, and families, or our TRS brand, which is adults only. So those are the two that are really here in North America. Here's this other stuff as well. So just show you that we are a well-rounded company, and a lot of hotel experience over 50 years, and the different brands that feature, different for the different market segments of it. So TRS, start talking about that. TRS is our adults only hotel. Here in North America, we have the TRS Coral, which is just north of Cancun Airport. That's a leading hotel of the world, so that means it's really nice, and that's the brand that is the top, it's an exclusive brand that you have to get into in order to be considered a leading hotel of the world. TRS Coral fits that, and it is that. TRS Yucatan is about 40 to 50 minutes south of the Cancun airport. So both of these two resorts that I talked about so far are serviced by Cancun airport. And that is a really nice resort too. Maybe not up to the leading hotel in the world, but we'll talk about that resort. And in the Dominican Republic, we have two as well, both serviced from the Punta Cana airport. TRS Turquesa is on Bavaro Beach, and you can see that beach picture there, really nice beach. And then TRS Cap Cana is in this Cap Cana complex, which is like an area that has different attractions. It's a developmental area. There's many different, or not many, there's several different hotels in the complex. We have the Cap Cana there. The Grand Palladium brands, these are for a couple singles and families, and there's one in Grand Palladium, Costa Mujeres, which is adjacent to the TRS Coral, so the one location has both of these properties on it. We also have Vallarta in Jamaica, and Riviera Maya also has one attached to it, and also the Punta Cana complex as well. So we'll talk about the first resort here. Now, again, this is Costa Mujeres, which is about 40 minutes north of the Cancun airport. It's a new developmental area. In the last, I'd say, decade, not even, it was just a peninsula that just didn't have any buildings on it at all. The Mexican government started to develop this area as a new kind of resort area. You know, in the Cancun region, you have the Cancun Hotel Zone, which is kind of like a Miami Beach where there's, you know, hotel after hotel after hotel, and very active and not a lot of nightlife. Then south of that is Riviera Maya, where it's a little bit more pastoral, a little bit more picturesque. The resorts are bigger. They're not high-rise. They're all low-level, and there's grounds to walk in. That's the Riviera Maya. Now, this is north of the hotel zone, and maybe not quite a high red, but it is, the resorts are going to be a little bit closer together, but they're on a great beach, and there's plenty to see and do. So this is, again, in Costa Mujeres. This is our TRS Coral property, and here is the main pool. The spa here is absolutely amazing. It's 51,000 square feet. The great thing is with a TRS Coral guest, any TRS guest has access to the hydrotherapy areas of our spa. You know, what's a hydrotherapy? Well, that's where you got your whirlpool, your steam room, your sauna room, your, you know, lap pool, that kind of stuff. So that is free for TRS guests. And the Grand Palladium guests, they want to come in and use the hydrotherapy area, well, they have to pay a daily admittance fee, or they have to have a massage booked, and then they can use that before or after. So it's a great perk for the TRS guests to be able to use the hydrotherapy area. This resort also has our Rafa Nadal Tennis Center. So if anybody's into tennis, which is you know, a great facility here, clay courts, that's the preferred surface that Rafa Nadal plays on. And so if you want to get your tennis game in gear, a great choice to do it. Here's what some of the rooms look like. A swim up room. These rooms, you go right into the pool that is surrounding the building. So it's not like a small little private pool just for you, but it is on the first floor of the buildings. They all have access to this pool, and it kind of connects all the way around the building. And here's what it looks like from the patio, or the lanai, I guess that's what I'll call it. And all TRS guests, they get premium alcohol in their room, so you can make up your cocktail if you want to right there. Loft suite spread out over 2 floors. This is kind of like the entertaining floor. And there's a bedroom upstairs as well, and they get some different things here in the loft suite. Restaurants, there's no restrictions or no reservations required, with a little caveat I'll talk about in a second, for any of our restaurants, and they are a la carte. You know, the Capricho is like breakfast. Tapeo is our Spanish restaurant, again being a Spanish chain. Talk about Chic Cabaret here in a second, but that's like dinner and a show. La Boheme is a French restaurant. El Gaucho is our Argentinian steakhouse, and Helios is a Mediterranean beach club for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here's what some of the restaurants look like. So you can see the Helios, it's right on the water here. A great Chic Cabaret, about a 3-hour show, complimentary for TRS guests. There's a small reservation fee, about $20 per person. We instituted that just simply because we were getting people reserving it and then not showing up. So we want to make sure you show up. That is Chic Cabaret, about 3 hours, dinner and a show. Let's learn a little bit more about it.
That's what I'm talking about. Wait. Okay, now, from the beginning.
Get it, boys.
this place. Love this place. Love this place. Love this place. Don't on the corner where the big boys play.
Yeah, so that's a little taste of what Chic Cabaret is, and like I said, it's pretty much complimentary for the TRS guests. It's just a reservation fee needed, and we have it at all the TRS locations: Yucatan, Coral, and also in Punta Cana as well. So that's a little bit about TRS Coral. It's sister property on the same location as the Grand Palladium, Costa Mujeres, and this is again for the for families. And of course, you were single or a couple, you don't have to go to the adults only, and it's probably going to price out, a little bit less. There are plenty to see and do. All the resorts have kids clubs for ages 1 and up. We have 1 through 3. That's one kids club, which is kind of like in the center of it. So you have to like go through the checkpoint and go through another checkpoint to get to the little kids area. Then the 4 through 12 area kind of surrounds the outside of the little kid area. And then in a separate location, we have the teens club as well. The restaurants that we have on the other side, so we had the other restaurants I talked about were the TRS restaurants. These are the Grand Palladium ones. Isla Blanca is like what we call a show cooking or a buffet restaurant. Cheng Tai, Asian fusion, talked about Chic Cabaret. El Dorado is a steakhouse. La Adelita is our Mexican restaurant. Bugali is Indian restaurant. Suptori, Japanese with the show cooking hot teppanyaki table, and Portofino, Italian. And like I was saying before, there's no restrictions. You can go to a la carte dining every night if you want. That's not a problem. But with reservations, because of the capacity controlled environment that we're in right now with the COVID situation, we do ask that you do make reservations just so we can keep the tables spread out and spaced out and keep everybody safe and happy while they're eating. And it's easy enough to make the reservations. You can do it on your TV before you leave your room. There's a little interface on that. To give you an idea of some of the foods that you might expect. So here's our Cheng Tai restaurant, the Mexican cuisine at La Adelita. And here's what some of the rooms look like. And you can see it's similar to the TRS Coral, but slightly different accoutrements and how it's done. And these rooms will come in 1 king bed or 2 queens. And here is the ambassador suite for the big shooters that really want to spend, for the best. And we do have that available. Chelsea can look for you as well. A map of the resort, the charcoal kind of areas, that's where the TRS Coral is. The blue rooms are the Grand Palladium. Point out that yellow building, that is our family selection. It's kind of a hybrid concept. I think I got some slides in here. I'll talk about that in a second, but it's like a hotel within a hotel. And then finally, the orange areas are kind of like the common areas, including the spa. And the village is set up with our convention center, our coffee shop, our sports bar, all the restaurants, and the theater, and Chic Cabaret. So a village. So kind of like at night, it kind of feels like a European piazza where, there's kind of, big cobblestone streets and people walking around. And all the entertainment and activities are kind of coordinated in the village area. Family selection, again, the hotel within a hotel. So if you have those if you're in a family and you want a little bit more service and different access to parts of the resort that the regular Grand Palladium guests don't get, well, this would be for you. You get your own family selection guest. All TRS guests have their own butler for each floor, and the family selection has that as well. So you get your own person that will be able to make reservations and answer any questions and help you out with any thing. That's if you're at the family selection or a TRS. And the great thing is adults that are staying there with their family, they have access to the TRS, so they can stay with their kids, have a great time, and then go see the Chic Cabaret show at night, leave the kids at the kids club. They're open till 11 p.m. So let's watch a little bit about what family selection is about. And it's kind of unique to us. Not any other hotels really doing this. So. Yeah, and they're checked in and checked out of their own place. So that's the family selection, and as the video showed, we have it at Costa Mujeres and also at our resort in Riviera Nayarit as well. Next up, just down the road from the resort in Costa Mujeres is our Riviera Maya location. There's 3 Grand Palladiums there: the Colonial, the Katana, the White Sands, and the TRS Yucatan. The map of the property, you can see the Grand Palladium Colonial, Katana, and White Sands are on the lower 2/3, and the upper third is the TRS Yucatan. Now, a lot of questions we get, and this will go for any of the resorts that we have with multiple Grand Palladiums on there. Well, what's the difference between the White Sands and the Colonial? Well, the answer is they all share the same facilities on the outside. You still get access to all the same restaurants, the same bars, the same pools. The difference is what's inside the room and where it's located on the resort. So they're all going to price out, slightly different. And the rooms, like I said, are just a little bit different. This is what the TRS Yucatan looks like. And again, this is adults only. And you can see what the junior suite looks like. And then this is the one where it's a private pool. So it's like a swim out, but it's a private pool. So you don't, it's just for you guys there. It's not like you can swim down to see your friends who are 2-3 rooms down. So it's just a private pool there. And then these are the romance bungalows. And these are great if you got a honeymooner or those people that just really want a lot of privacy. It's built over a lagoon. So if you've seen those pictures of the overwater bungalows, well, it's not over the ocean. It's over a man-made lagoon, but it still provides for a lot of privacy. You can see the canoe there. So if you really want to get out there and do some canoeing around, it's possible. It's got an outdoor shower, an indoor tub, and it's just a really neat building. Here's what some of it looks like on the inside. So if you want something special, if somebody wants to celebrate something really nice, that's a great place to do it. Here's a view of the beach, not the beach area necessarily, but the infinity pool at the TRS Yucatan. That pool was ranked, I think it was Recommend magazine in 2018 as the #1 hotel pool in the world, I believe, or at least for all inclusive. So it's a great area, and that's where most of the guests kind of spend their time when they're with us on property. The White Sand, that's a Grand Palladium, so that's for a couple singles and families. And here's what some of those rooms look like. So kind of has that hacienda kind of feel to it. So it is it's a great resort. A lot of outside areas, some mangrove forests and things like that there. So I'll just give you an idea what some of the rooms look like. This is the Katana. So not a lot of difference between the Katana and White Sands, but that said, they all are going to price out slightly different. The spa is really nice here as well. Centropia is a great brand for us, and they do have some great hydrotherapy areas and treatments areas, and some of the restaurants are built out into the pools. One of the things I think you'll find with our resorts is most of the pools that we have on the resorts are really big. All of the resorts also have a sports bar, which is open 24 hours, so you can go get a drink or a meal at any time if you'd like. And of course, kids clubs as well. Rags is our little mascot and his buddies, and they keep the kids occupied. Talked about some of these restaurants before. Just point out that here as well, Poseidon, and of course Ribs and More as well. So what you'll find with us is a lot of the brands are, as far as the hotel restaurants are concerned, a la carte restaurants, kind of repeat the same theme. So just get familiar with it, then you'll know when you're at a different resort. I can spend probably a whole lot on the Nayarit just simply because I know where you guys are at. You probably don't travel to the West Coast as much, Mexico. But if you do want something on the West Coast, which is a great family area, and if you look all the way over on the left there, that is a saltwater pool that's built into the ocean, so great for kids to kind of learn how to snorkel and stuff in a confined environment. The buildings on the left in blue are the family selection. The yellow buildings are for the rest of the Grand Palladium. So there's no TRS here, so it's all a Grand Palladium, but it does provide a great area if you want to get out, old-time Mexico kind of feel, and you want to do some excursions out into the mountains or to Sayulita, which is a great surf beach town on the West Coast. A great area for that and great for families. A lot of fun, a lot of adventure. It's kind of built up onto a hill, so there's great views. And between November and March, there are whales that breach there in the Bay of Banderas that you can observe from our Mexican restaurant. So yeah, just there's that view I wanted to show you. So yeah, you can, nice dinner out there and look out and you see some whales. So that's the Nayarit, and it has its own family selection as well. And here's how it is at night. Montego Bay, this is a great resort for people that want space and want you can see the picture here. This is all us, you know, and the resorts in Jamaica, what you'll find is maybe they don't have the same kind of space and grounds that they do in Mexico. Our resort here in Jamaica, it's marketed as Montego Bay, and that's the main airport for Jamaica. Tourists going to Jamaica will fly into Montego Bay. However, our resort's actually about 40 minutes from there. It's in its own area, and you can see that there really isn't any resort or any other buildings around us. So it's a big resort, which is off by itself. The beach there, you see that main beach there, that's a private man-made beach. Most of the beaches in Jamaica, they're all is a private beach, which you know, in this time frame, you know who you're kind of come in contact through, and anything like that. Again, great restaurants. Mecca is our Jamaican restaurant. You can see some of the same brands that pop up over and over again. The show cooking or buffet restaurants are listed there as well. This is what some of them look like. So again, we're encouraging reservations just to make sure that we can space it all out and make sure that everybody gets a chance to eat every night. But you can see some of the restaurants and what they look like. Here's what some of the rooms look like. This is on the Lady Hamilton side. And again, in Jamaica, we have Grand Palladium Jamaica and Grand Palladium Lady Hamilton. Lady Hamilton is going to price out maybe a little bit more than Jamaica, but it's been upgraded more recently, and it does have some extra room categories that do not exist on the Jamaica side. But again, they share all the same facilities. They can go to all the same restaurants, see the great sunsets that you get at Negril, because we are facing west as well. So a little bit on Jamaica, and then next up Punta Cana. Again, TRS Turquesa, that's the adults only. And then we have the Bavaro, the Palace, and the Punta Cana on the Grand Palladium side. It's a big complex. What do people go to Punta Cana for? Well, usually for the beach. It's a great beach here. It's number one, Bavaro Beach. There are, long, we got, I think over, our beachfront is quite large there in Punta Cana, and you can walk up and down and walk past other resorts as well. We do have a little casino here. Nobody's going to compare it to, Caesar's Palace or anything like that. But if Jamaica and Punta Cana both have little casinos run by a third party on property, so that they can, so you can, relax and, throw the bones or play some slots or whatever like that for entertainment. Here's what some of the rooms in the Turquesa, the TRS, the adults only side look like. And again, they have swim outs, so they're not private pools. They are swim outs, so you can, great for groups, you can meet in the pool, that kind of stuff. And here's some more with the premium bottles of alcohol, which are complimentary in your room, and different categories, including the superior suite for the high rollers. Restaurants we have here, again, very similar. I would point out Cusco is a hybrid Japanese Peruvian restaurant. So I think sometimes, people don't always feel that the restaurant offerings in Punta Cana are really up to maybe some of the standards in some other locations. But I would say that, this Cusco restaurant, I mean, if you're a foodie, you really want, you want to go to Punta Cana, but you don't know if you're going to enjoy so much of the food, maybe consider us, because we do have a great Cusco and of course a French and a Mediterranean restaurant as well, which is right by the main pool and by the beach. So, and that's what the French restaurant looks like. So great food offerings there in Punta Cana. The secret pool is an adults only pool that both Grand Palladium and TRS guests can go to, and it's kind of like hidden away. Here's what the spa looks like here. Great thing about the spa in Punta Cana is it has a mud room. So if you get really sunburned, some of those therapeutic muds that are imported from all over the world. There was some from the outback of Australia, one from, I think it was from Sri Lanka. So they do, you know, some things like that. And they have, like I said, these therapeutic treatments to help with sunburn. This is what the Grand Palladium side looks like. And again, look at that beach. I mean, that's, you know, just what one of the main attractions of this destination is. And we're right on the, you know, the premier beach. Here's what some of the rooms look like. And again, what's the difference between the Bavaro and the Punta Cana? Well, where they are on the resort and some of the soft touches inside the room are definitely what you'll find. And their room categories might vary slightly as well. Some of these are going to have like loft suites. The maximum capacity of any of our rooms is 4 people in a room. We don't offer 5 in a room, but we do offer these rooms that are lofted that are going to have a little bit more room in them. And that is what we offer in some of the resorts here in Punta Cana. And there's some connecting suites as well. So, you know, Chelsea will be able to contact me and we'll be able to put the 2 rooms together so that they don't have to you know, separate themselves as if you have more than 4 people. And a great pool there, obviously. You can see it's right by the beach. And then again, there's Entropia Spa. So Kids Club's kind of cool here because it's like this little fortress, and like there's, you know, a couple emergency exits, of course, but there's only one like main, you know, like entrance and entrance, you know, so, you know, to make sure that, you know, the kids are, you know, aren't going to wander off or somebody's going to. So it's a great area inside this little fortress, and it's right by the main pool, so it's easy enough to drop the kids off at the Kids Club and then go hit the pool. For this resort in Punta Cana, we do have the accreditation from the IBECC, which is for autism-friendly vacation. So there are a couple of resorts in the world that do it, brands. We do it here in Punta Cana, and we do have the accreditation. So if you have, you know somebody, or they're looking to get away, and they do have a child who's got some special needs, a great choice for them here would be in Punta Cana. And we definitely take care of them very much in that regards. Now, Cap Cana Resort, this is a TRS. It's also in the Punta Cana area, but it is an adults only resort, and it's off by itself. Like I said, in that Cap Cana complex, it is the smallest of all the resorts, only 115 rooms. So if you want a more boutique-y feel, a great choice. If you want a quick getaway, I just want to get away for a couple of years. Now, if you're not really like so particular of being able to walk hand in hand for miles on the beach outside your room, this might be a good option. I mean, we're really close to Juanillo Beach, which is you know, a really picturesque beach in Punta and Dominican Republic. However, right on property, we're by the marina. Our beach is not really big. So if you're a pool person, you don't really care about the beach, quick getaway. It's only 10 minutes from the airport. It's got kind of the feel of like Santorini or like a Greek island. You know, it's the white walls, blue roofs, that kind of stuff. And it's great views and swim outs as well. Only, like it's 115 rooms, and there are 33 of these rooms are swim outs. So like a swim out, you're a pool person, you don't care about a really nice beach, you just want to get away quick. It's only 10 minutes from the airport. A great option for you at Cap Cana. And the staff to service ratio, really high here too. So you'll be waited on very, very well. And if you get groups and you want to put a bunch of people together, well, you know, Chelsea will be able to arrange it with our Groups for Fun program. So she would be booking you into this. You're going to get some bonuses. You're going to get some perks. You know, so on 1 free passenger for every 10 paid. So round up some friends, all go out together, and then you guys, you can take the free room, and everybody else will pay for the for their rooms. And we are now going to be fully open. Of course, we had closed down during this COVID environment, and starting, I think, at the end of this week, they've moved up the, yeah, there it is, Cap Cana. So I think that's actually today. So Cap Cana is reopening right now. So we are, we're fully open for the first time since I guess, late March, early April. So, and again, it's clean and safe, you know, just we are following all the protocols. Here's some of the things we're doing. If you have some real questions about it, you know, ask Chelsea, we'll be able to get this information over to you. But just to give you an idea, we're taking it seriously. We want our guests to be safe, and we're even offering this free insurance as well. And if you have any more information about it, here's all the resources that we have. So let her know, and we will get this information over to you. If we put a group together and somebody's concerned about this or that, we've got it all documented. And that's for other travel agents. And just know that you're going to go through Chelsea. And thank you. Definitely appreciate it. And that's the presentation. I hope you guys appreciate it. Now, if you thinking to yourself, well, there's a lot of all-inclusive resorts. Why would I want to book Palladium over this other one? Well, if you're looking for a resort chain that's got kind of some European sensibilities, either you don't want to feel like you're just going to a Holiday Inn in Des Moines. You want to feel like you're on vacation. You want to feel that international flavor. We get guests that come over from all over the world. We're experienced, so we've had a lot of years in the hospitality business. And we take food and beverage, really seriously. Like you're going to be well provided for. I didn't mention one of the things that we do on all our properties is we offer a allergy card. So like you go and you check in and be like, well, wait a minute, I'm nut free. Like, oh, you got a nut free allergy? Well, let me give you this card right here. It's color coded. So the staff, just put it on your table when you're going to order your meal, and they will know, oh wait, you can't order that because of this, and they will work with you and make sure you eat something. So if you have any food allergy questions, we're a great resort for that. Entertainment, as I mentioned before, the Chic Cabaret, all the resorts have a theater. The performers are not doing anything else on property. So it's not like during the day they're giving you a towel, at night they're singing the a cappella. No, like their performers either, they're hired not as like, oh yeah, one other thing you're doing is you're dancing. So it's a real high production values. And the staff, the people at Palladium program, like the people at the pool, at the to the spa, they are all our staff are very professional, and they are hired to do their job and not asked to do anymore. So if you're looking for entertainment, you are in an environment where it's, great job. So definitely, I've worked in the industry before taking this job with Palladium, and I definitely also know it from experience. So thank you very much, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that might have come along around the way.
Will, I have a couple of questions for you.
Sure.
Okay, yeah, good. You were frozen for a second. I thought I lost you. Let's talk about masks, because that's a big question that I get as far as what are the mask requirements on property. So for Palladium, what kind of mask requirements should the guest expect?
Well, it's going to vary from, we adhere to all the local regulations. So if Jamaica's making them do something that Mexico's not, well, there's going to be slightly different. But as a common denominator, what I would say is at all the check-in, check-out procedures, masks are to be worn in the lobby. While you're at the pool and you're outside, the masks are not required. When you walk into the restaurant, and when you're, and they encourage you, when you go into the bathroom from your table and stuff like that, to slap a mask on. But as far as, in your room, no, of course not. Masks are not required. During the hallways, most of the hallways are kind of open, like in the hotel. So it's not, super required on that. But for the most part, and if you're walking outside, they're not really, the guests aren't really expected to have a mask on the outside environments. It's just the common areas where, checking in, checking out at the lobbies, waiting in line to get seated at the buffet restaurant. There's a little bit of a queue up, and then going to your tables, that would be required. I would point out that too, that in our we call them show cooking restaurants, but you guys would refer to them as a buffet restaurant. They used to be, just go up there and grab some food and come back, sit down. Now, you'll go up there to like the taco station and, be like, oh, I want that and that, and somebody will grab it for you. We're limiting the interaction that the guests have with the food. So it's maybe the service isn't going to be quite as snappy as it used to be. I used to get it out in 10 minutes, and now I got to wait. But it's just to keep everybody safe. So that is one of the changes we've made as well. And then there's temperature checks before you go into any restaurants. And all the staff, they're all they're masked up at all times, and the protocols. I've been down to our properties twice in October actually, and they were definitely adhering to them and taking it very seriously. But it wasn't to the point where it was you felt like you're in a hospital with the guests. They were still able to enjoy themselves just on the inside environments when you're in a lobby or at a waiting to be seated or on the way to the table. You're expected to wear a mask.
Okay. I mean, so it's not much different than what you're doing if you're here going out to a restaurant or anything like that.
No, definitely not. Like I said, the only one difference maybe is like you usually don't have to check in at a lobby at the restaurant, but that's the only difference. So yes, what you'd expect to find here in the United States, you would. You're expected to find that down there as well. I mean, and you're coming from you take an Uber to the airport, you fly on the plane, you've been wearing the mask, for 8 or 10 hours before you even get to your room. So, I mean, it is refreshing when you finally check into your luxurious suite and you're able to relax and just enjoy yourself. So, yes.
Okay. Awesome. I know a lot of my clients travel with their kids. So you were talking about the kids programs. What ages do those encompass?
We'll take them as in the kids club as low as 1 year old. And if you sign off on a paper, they will change a diaper as well. And I was kind of mentioned before, like the 1 through 3 area is kind of like the most secured area. Like to get into the kids club, there's a gate and you got to stop at somebody and you got to sign and you got to tell them what the heck you're doing there and who your kid is. And, when you got to register your child ahead of time. However, the 1 through 3 area is even like inside the inside area so that, there's even, an extra, kind of, protocol in order to get into the mini club. So the mini club is 1 through 3. And like I said, we will change the diapers for them. Kids club is 4 through 12. And then they'll take them out, mini club, those kids, they just kind of stay in that room and there's play areas, the 4 through 12, then they'll take them to the pool and they'll take them over to, the restaurant, at 1:30. They'll train them up for, doing a performance at night. Be like, oh, let's work on our dance side or whatever. That is our people Palladium program. That's a little bit more active in keeping the kids engaged. All the resorts in the kids clubs have, we're partnered with Xbox as our, provider. So there's Xbox available in the kids clubs. So they can sit there and just play video games all day if they'd like. So there's stuff to do. Our People in Palladium program will keep them active and engaged. And at the Teens Club, they have like a DJ booth, and actually one of them, Coach Harris, actually has full-on drum kits and some instruments that you could play, and get a recording going, that kind of stuff. But that the kids just show up and they leave. There's no like signing them in or out or anything like that. So 3 different levels of kids entertainment, and again, they're all open till 11 p.m.
Okay. The next question would be, how early can you drop the kids off?
I believe it's after breakfast. I believe it's 9 to 11. I believe is the time frame. So. And if you want to get a babysitter while on property, sure, that's available too. That's an extra fee, but yeah, you can get a a babysitter. Be like, look, we got an excursion. We got to be out the door by 6 a.m. to get to Chichen Itza or whatever, and we don't want to take our kids. So yeah, then you can get somebody to be with them, from then, and they'll walk them over to the kids club, that kind of thing. So you would pre-register the kids at the kids club beforehand, of course. So we do have the ability to have babysitters, but typically 9 to 11 p.m. is the kids club time frame.
Okay, great. And with all of the COVID precautions that are going on right now, are the kids clubs open? How do those operate?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, I think currently they are not, or they're just totally outside. I don't think that there are in the inside right now, and we're remiss not to mention that. But I believe, and again, that's going to be dependent on the local regulations. But when I was down in Costa Mujeres, the kids club facilities, everything was just done outside. So, because the area, the way that it was in Costa Mujeres is like the kids club like is right next to like the kids splash pool with the slides and stuff. So they just like kind of quadrant off, this little area, and they were just doing everything outside.
Okay, great. I know being in multiple countries makes it difficult to make blanket statements. But as far as what's required for travel right now, I mean, when this whole thing first started, it was you can travel, but you're going to quarantine, and things are a lot different now. So, for the most part, what should clients expect whenever they decide that they want to go?
Well, right now, the only destination that doesn't require a negative COVID test before entering is Mexico, and Jamaica does require that you need to test negatively within a certain time frame, and that they've changed that from 14 to 10 days, I believe. So you just need to be within. No, I think it's the other way around. They went from 10 to 14. So within the last couple of weeks, you just need to prove a negative test. And I believe Dominican Republic is somewhere in the middle. Like I think they'll accept more. Like the Jamaican test, like it's got to be this, or this test. And I think in Dominican, I think the number of tests, the same type of thing. You just need to kind of register. I don't think it's quite as severe, but I would definitely recommend. All of the destinations have their own tourist board website, so I definitely would recommend getting familiar with that and what you can expect before departing. But as far as the ease of getting in and out of the countries right now, Mexico seems to be the destination where there aren't as many protocols as far as entry and exit out of the country as some of the other destinations, all subject to change, of course.
Of course. I have just one more question. The resorts are all open. So the Dominican Republic just opened theirs today. So you're all operating. Are they operating at reduced capacity? Is there fewer guests there? Like if I'm traveling, what can I expect whenever I arrive? Is it fully packed out?
Mm-hmm.
Are there less guests?
Well, you would not be able to come to any of our resorts at an occupancy over 60% right now. I believe, well, at least for Mexico, I believe right now it's capped at 60% of capacity. And to go back to the Chic Cabaret, that is not being offered right now because that's considered a nightclub, no indoor entertainment. So yes, social distancing and spacing. We are not at 60%, even though we could be. It's a great time to book a last minute trip simply because you're going to be further away from people than you would be here because there's plenty of room at our resorts. You saw some of those maps, they're really big. We're not at full capacity. Like for instance, in Jamaica, we have Lady Hamilton and Jamaica, Grand Palladium Jamaica. Right now, only Lady Hamilton is open, and it's just a function of, well, the demand isn't there for us to open up 2 hotels. So a great tip for you is if somebody is looking, hey, that Jamaica resort look great, I want to book it. Go ahead and book them, and at the last minute, go ahead and book them on the Jamaica side. It's going to price out a few dollars cheaper. They're going to get Lady Hamilton because we don't even have Jamaica open right now. So it's a function of demand, but there are local you can't go above certain occupancy depending on local regulations, but we are haven't pushed our occupancy. The demand hasn't been there. We're at the point where it's like, oh, hey, what are we going to do? So I wouldn't say they're sparsely populated, but there's plenty of room for everybody right now. Of course, we get to the holidays. I've seen the forecast. It's going to go up, but we're capped at a certain point depending on local regulations. And of course, we're not going to exceed that at all. And another thing I didn't mention too, just if you have anybody who's confined to a wheelchair or anything, all the resorts have a beach wheelchair. So you want to get somebody who wants to get their feet back in the ocean for the first time, whatever. We do have the ability to do that. So we take those that have special needs very seriously also.
Awesome. So honestly, it sounds like if you're not huge on crowds, that now is not a terrible time to travel at all, because with the reduced capacity and people not traveling as much, that you can kind of get away and not be crowded with it at all.
Yeah, and as kind of mentioned with our Jamaica property as well. I mean, it's a private beach too. If you go to a resort in Negril or Montego Bay, those are public beaches that your hotel butts up onto. And then who's coming in and out of that beach? I know that the governments, especially the government of Jamaica, has been really active in preventing the more coronavirus coming in. But just for the record, if you just want to limit who you have contact with, then definitely Jamaica might be a good option. And again, we're in Jamaica all by ourselves. There's no, no, it's not a city, not a big resort strip, so plenty of room to move around and feel secure.
All right, great. I don't have any other questions that have come in, so I don't know if you have anything else that you want to leave us with.
Not a whole bunch. Just for the record, if when Spain reopens for us to tour, I mean, if you ever have seen any videos from Ibiza of David Guetta, who's our house DJ, or you've seen any like crazy poolside EDM DJ entertaining thousands of guests, I mean, that's probably coming from our Ushuaia resort in Ibiza. So we kind of take that vibe and brought it to North America. So again, a good option. We're a good option for those who want to kind of have a intercontinental feel to their experience and not like feel like they're at a hollow somewhere. That it's not just we get people from all over the world, and we have high standards that are expected from our travelers. So and I think we offer a good value for the money as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today.
Sure.
I hope that everybody has kind of picked up some information, feels maybe a little more comfortable with, taking off some time to maybe get away. But thank you again, Will, and it was great to talk to you.
Great to talk to you too. And I guess I finished up about 3 hours earlier than I thought, so it worked out great. So thanks so much, and please, if you have any questions, anything comes up from this, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. All
right, adios.
All right, guys, thanks for joining me. If you have any questions if you're watching the replay on this, please feel free to drop your questions in the comments. I will be circling back around to make sure that all of the questions are answered. If you saw a property that piqued your interest and you want to know more, feel free to drop a message on the business page, or if you know me personally, feel free to do that as well. But hopefully this kind of eases everybody's anxiety a little bit. I know it's still, some people are not going to be ready to travel yet, but we are starting to get interest from people who are looking to know what their options are and see what's out there. So Palladium is definitely something that could be a good option for you. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. We went a little long today, about an hour for our first live. But if you would like to get reminded of whenever we are going live again, we'll be going live next week, actually. If you text or comment reminder in the comments, you'll get a message through Messenger, and it'll help you set up a notification. So that way, whenever we go live again, you will have that and you'll be ready to go. So thanks again for joining me, guys. Text reminder in the comments, and you'll be notified when we go live next. And thanks for joining me. See you guys.